Singapore's been flooded with new Chinese EV brands lately, but how about just a new EV from a brand that's been here for a while? Today, we're going to look at the MGS5. It is a pure electric SUV that's aimed at family buyers, but also simply for anyone who's looking for an affordable yet practical car that runs on batteries. Oh, and if you stay to the end, I'm going to show you why I'm holding this can of olive oil. This is a 5-door, 5-seat SUV, and it's just about the same size as a Hyundai Tucson. Straight up, it's designed to go head-to-head with the reigning king of EVs in Singapore, the BYD Atto 3. It's actually based on the MG4, which has won accolades for its sharp handling, so like that car, it's rear-wheel drive and rear motor. It has a 62 kWh battery with a WLTP range of 425 kilometers, which I think is competitive. The battery has LFP chemistry, so you can charge it to 100% more often with less worry about durability. Speaking of which, the fast charging rate is 150 kilowatts, which is pretty close to the upper limit of what you can get with 400-volt architecture. And that's good for 10 to 80% in just 26 minutes. A single motor powers the rear wheels with 99 kilowatts, so the 0 to 100 time is a kind of relaxed 9.9 seconds. But that helps this car get into Category A, which keeps the price competitive and affordable. So this car is a mix of sharp creases and smooth lines, and it is on the boxy side in order to maximize interior space, but it is very aerodynamic. The coefficient of drag, which measures how slippery a car is through the air, is just 0.26. Now that's equal to something like the Hyundai Kona EV, but it does make it more slippery than its main competitor, and that's important because the lower the CD, the more efficient a car is through the air and the more range you can get from the battery. Interestingly, the MGS5 doesn't have flush door handles, which are a standard trick to lower a car's drag coefficient. And if you're interested, these air curtains here slice 0.003 off the CD. And this deflector over here at the wheel, another 0.01. The rim design took off 0.006. And even this panel over here took off another 0.006. Now it all adds up, and my takeaway is the engineers really did bother. Over here I'm getting some serious Volkswagen Tiguan vibe. Oh, maybe I'm just imagining it, but as you may already know, MG is now owned by SAIC, or Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation, and that is the biggest state-owned car company in China right now. It got big after teaming up with, you guessed it, Volkswagen in the 1980s. And back then, well, at one point it actually sold something like more than 50% of the cars in China, which is huge. But my real purpose for coming back here, not the electric tailgate, is to show you the boot, which at 454 liters is not huge, but you do get double height floor. And of course, if you fold the seats, which you can do from here, you get 1,441 liters, obviously meant for family use. Oh, and by the way, there is no frunk, which is going to save me some walking and talking. Over here is not quite your typical Chinese EV. Okay, it is touchscreen oriented, so you got quite a nice big 12.8-inch main screen over here, and the driver displays are 10.25 inches, which is, I think, quite sizable for the class. In terms of overall ambience, I'd say it's a nice mix between sort of classy and sporty, like this 3-spoke steering wheel, for example. And I think it's classy because of this sort of ovalty kind of finish for the dashboard and the upholstery. The plastics are actually quite soft touch as well, so overall this does feel a little bit executive and quite a grown-up car. Do note that these seats are a mix between cloth over here and some PVC, or let's call it vegan leather, but you can have full leather as an option. Now check this out though, physical aircon controls and some audio ones as well. Now, an MG designer told me that in China, nobody wants physical controls anymore. They all want to do it by touchscreen or by voice. But, you know, to me, these are more convenient and a little bit safer. But what they tell me is that MG is now a more export-oriented car company than the typical Chinese car company. Check these out. These are the aircon vents, and they are very slim and they do look nice, but I have my doubts about their efficacy. To be fair, I haven't driven this car in Singapore yet, so I will reserve judgment, but for now, I am dubious. By the way, if you're enjoying this or finding it useful, please consider subscribing. That would really help us out. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Now, a car this size is never going to be that wide across, but I am very well accommodated in terms of knee room as well as headroom. And above me, there is a glass roof. There's a cover that you can slide across electrically. And this is nearly 13 square feet in size. So when you're driving somewhere like Orchard Road, then this by itself is worth something like $65,000. Now, aircon vents, yes, there are two, and there is a single USB charging outlet. Oh, and I should say that according to MG, there are 38 storage spaces around the cabin. This car is already on sale in the UK, so it has undergone European car crash testing and it has a 5-star Euro NCAP safety score. So at the end of the day, this definitely is a family car. One of the most interesting things about the MGS5 is its battery. Now you can't even see it, but its cells look something like this can of olive oil here. And the cells in the car actually come from a collaboration between MG and CATL, which is the world's biggest EV battery maker. Now, individual cells shaped like this actually make up a car battery pack. They have connectors on top and they're all sort of joined together and placed side by side to make up the pack in the car. But what MG does is actually quite interesting. Instead of laying them out side by side, it actually pairs them and then places them horizontally and then places those stacks side by side. I should have brought more olive oil. Now, there's a couple of advantages to doing things that way. First one is space. Straight away you can see that there's actually a little bit of height saving over here, and that's the reason that the MG battery pack is so thin. It's actually only 11 centimeters thick, so it's not as high even as a can of Coca-Cola, and that of course leaves more space in the cabin for things like headroom. But the second reason is it's actually a little bit safer. So it's a bit convoluted, but when an EV catches fire, it can be because one cell has caught fire and started to spread that fire. And that's because this surface area over here can transmit a lot of energy to the cell next to it. And when they're all sort of stuck together side by side like this, you can get a runaway event, and that's not good. But when you do it the MG way, well, if a cell catches fire, it can spread easily to the cell next to it. But because this surface area is a lot smaller, it's not so easy for the energy to make it across from this cell to the cell next to it. And so the chances of a runaway are actually less. Of course, it's important to make each cell safer as well. And I'm sure you've seen that penetration test where they drive a spike into a battery and then all these flames and smoke come out. Now, the UNECE, which is the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe, has a test standard that says no flames or smoke are allowed to be seen within 5 minutes of the spike going in. But MG uses a different standard. It's not 5 minutes, it's not 55 minutes, it's not even 555 minutes. It just doesn't allow itself to catch fire at all after the spike goes in. And you've seen the single spike tests. Well, MG tests all its cells with 2 spikes. Now, that seems a little bit like overkill to me, but if you're feeling a bit kiasi about riding around in an electric car, then maybe you should be looking at a car from a manufacturer that's a little bit kiasu. The final thing worth pointing out is that the battery does have a 10-year warranty here in Singapore. So what do you think of the MGS5? A serious contender for the EV crown, or just another daring rebel in an endless uprising? Let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, if you do have questions about this car or any new car in Singapore, you can reach me at the number below. That's it from me. Thanks for watching. See you again. Oh. Today we're going to look at the MGS5. It's an affordable family car, and I got the line wrong. It's really not easy.